Because I do, Murphy, what are you doing, son? Because you're just walking around in circles. Right, Murphy, you're destroying the place. Come here, son. Come here. Come here. No, don't you even think. Right, go away. Just, no, you're going to jump, I know.
I watched the walking back and I was like, something's about to happen.
Yeah, something's about to get destroyed here. Welcome to Little Town Big Queeries. We have another special guest this week.
Hi, I'm Martin Murray. So I was the Northern Ireland Liaison for Sporting Pride, and I've started most of the LGBT sports groups in Northern Ireland. And I just get involved in community work, I guess. I'm trying to think of an introduction.
No. Well, do you want me to read out everything that I researched? I couldn't even memorize it. You've done so much. So, Martin Murray is a queer icon based. Are you based in Belfast?
Yes, in
Belfast.
Belfast.
Are you from Belfast?
Yeah.
No way.
Love the icon word.
Yeah, no, it's true though, because the amount of stuff you've done. You're recently vice chair of Quire Belfast, a queer choir group in the Ulster Liaison for Sport and Pride. Yes. Yeah, which is a volunteer organisation that encourages LGBTQ+ and trans community active. Mm-hmm. And you've also founded the Belfast Frontrunners, a running group, a Gaelic football. Is Gaelic football?
Yeah, Aeracha Uladh GAC.
Yeah, and then Ulster's LGBTQ+ Sports Day and Ulster's LGBTQ+ Women's Sports Day as well. You currently write for sport articles for the GNI Magazine. That's class. A local lifestyle magazine for LGBTQ+ community. And you're currently setting up your first community interest company, Fair Game.
Yes. Which
focuses on LGBTQ+ sports in Ireland. Yeah.
I love hearing about myself.
But like, you've done so much. I was like, how am I going to memorize this? This is like too much. But that's mental. You've done so much, and you
basically just bored over COVID. Needed to do something.
But that's it. Yeah, no, like a lot of stuff has started up since COVID. Like so many podcasts just went skyrocketed. Yeah. I was well behind the times. We only started doing this. What was it? Summer? We started in the summertime.
Was it April maybe?
Well, it was like a long time pre-production. You know. Yeah, I need to calm down. But I get so nervous when we have guests on because I'm just like, I'm not near my normal friends. I need to act like an actual human. So
there's no judgment here, so we're fine.
Yeah, well, thank God. Yeah, and plus you're staying the night here.
Yes.
So there's no rush. It can kind of take my time.
I tried to start a podcast there at the beginning of COVID.
Go away.
Terrible.
Actually.
I hated it. It was
Why?
horrible.
What was wrong?
It was just, so the interview was fine. It was the after bit with like the editing and stuff and sitting down with my computer, and I have no computer skills.
Oh.
I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing and I'm not enjoying this. So.
I live and breathe editing, so if you ever wanted like stuff edited, shoot it my way. I love it.
You love editing, I love talking. This is just perfect. Yeah.
This is a match made in heaven, I think. So, have you been into sports since you were younger, or did it become more of an interest when you got older?
I was never interested in sports until 30.
No way.
Which I think is very late for, especially a lot of sports you retire about 30.
Yeah.
So, like, it was just during COVID, basically, I went to Madrid Pride. It was around the 50th anniversary in 2019.
Yeah.
And I just seen that was kind of an atmosphere of organisations, committees, groups over in Madrid, whereas in Belfast, and I don't know about here, but Belfast is just the gay bars and you've got nothing else.
Yeah,
no
that's
community.
it. It's like there's no alcohol-free spots at all,
So it was just finding a place where people get out and meet each other. And not only that, but in the bars, you're kind of having a one-off conversation or connection, and then you can never see those people again.
That's it, yeah.
Whereas sports is more weekly, more regular, and you can build up relationships.
That's it, that's class, yeah. Did you struggle to play sports when you were younger due to the lack of LGBTQ+ inclusion, or suffered homophobic abuse from predominantly straight clubs/teams?
I was just a drama queen, so the arts, music, theatre, that was all my kind of route.
Nice.
And then that's how I kind of got into it. So I went to Belfast Met, used to have a performing arts, not a school, but like course basically there.
Cool.
And I did drama there and got into a bit of directing and like setting up plays and producing plays. And then through that I kind of learned how to set up an organisation.
Class.
So it's like we'll bring that more into the sports, because the arts, there's a million artists out there and there's no money, no budget. Whereas queer sports, there was nothing, so it was just an empty market really to play with.
Yeah, true. Oh my God, yeah. It's a shame that there's an empty market, because there is so many like active queer communities out here. You began the initiative due to the fact that 55% of LGBTQ+ men and 56% of LGBTQ+ women are not active enough to maintain good health. Do you think that is a result of homophobic or transphobic behaviour in the community of sports?
Definitely. I think a lot of people get into sports through fanship, so going to watch the games. And I do remember I used to live beside Casement Park, when it was opened.
Yeah.
And we would go down for the GAA games, and all you would hear from the audience is, I don't know what words I'm allowed to say in this. Can I say anything?
You say anything you
Or
want.
like
No, we
faggot,
are
that kind of thing, like
unhinged.
homophobic
We are
kind of ones.
unhinged.
Okay.
No, whatever you're comfortable
Okay,
saying.
perfect.
Yeah, no, you work away.
So basically, it was hearing that in the kind of audience. And I'm just like, if you're hearing that being yelled at the players as a queer person, who a lot of people in Northern Ireland, because it is such a taboo subject still, we're a very Christian country. So being outed that way, people kind of back off and hide away. So I can see what would be unwelcoming. And then you just remember in school time, it was a very macho, patriarchal kind of thing to do PE and to do sports. So if you weren't into that, I remember our school just had football. Basically, that's all you could do.
Yeah.
And it was literally the gay kids. There was about 5 of us who always forgot to bring our PE gear because we didn't want to do it.
Yeah, we don't want to have been there, definitely.
But they found a wee hall off to the side and basically had a badminton racket and a badminton net, which they must have had there from like the 70s. And we're just like, you just go, no teacher, just go into the hall, take care of yourselves.
Mess about,
And it just literally hitting each other with the badminton bat. So.
Fair enough. Oh, like you said, you were in Madrid for the 50th anniversary of Stonewall, and you saw many LGBT spaces there were, and realised Belfast's LGBTQ plus scene was way too reliant on gay bars. As well as sports, do you think more alcohol-free spaces should be introduced in Ireland?
Yes, I think Belfast is doing quite good at the moment. It's building up a lot of reputations. We have the Queer Women's Collective. We have a chess group that is starting up in the bookstore. What's it called? Paper X Clips.
Oh, class, cool.
Yes, they've got like a wee chess club there. They've got the men's club. They've got Sapphics, I think is the other one, Sapphics Belfast.
Okay,
so it's a lot of little groups, just social groups setting up. And then you've got the sports groups setting up on top of that, which we have about 10 at the moment in Belfast. And our hope has always been to kind of branch out and get, which is one of the reasons I wanted to do this, was to kind of get out to Enniskillen, get out to Derry.
That's class. Because like Enniskillen has nothing. It literally, just for Man of Pride, and that's once a year.
Is the Queer Women's Collective the one you done for photography? Yeah.
So yeah, because I do photography, and I did a wee like show up in what was it? It was like a bingo, wasn't it? It was like lesbo bingo. Yeah, it was such
I'm going
good
to that in a
fucking
couple of weeks,
crack.
actually,
No
for the
way,
first time,
it's another one. We had it what was it, the 29th of this month for them to come down on the show, but then they're flat out, and I was like, here girls, use work away.
So that's Shan.
I'm not too sure who I was talking to. It was just their wee account on Instagram, but I said, girls, I know yous are flat out working busy, so you get back to us whenever you want to come onto the show, because it is like Enniskillen's a strut, and I feel so bad when people, like all the people I want to speak to are in Belfast.
They'll be good energy when they come. We were doing a karaoke there a couple of days ago, and Quire is mental. I love Quire.
What's your karaoke song?
My karaoke song would be, I like a ballad, but you can't do a ballad at a karaoke bar because people want like high energy so I go with a really sad bluesy song, and I'm just like, nobody wants this, but this is for me, so shut up.
What you said your karaoke songs
I have
were?
3. It's like Running Up That Hill by Kate Bush.
Love.
Noisettes, Never Forget You.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And then Four Non-Blondes, What's Up.
Yes,
that's
love that one. That would be one of mine as well, the last one.
Yeah, see, I can't do karaoke alone. I'd have to do it with someone.
2 people.
I'm a shitbag. But me and my best friend Sam, we done Islands of the Stream.
Love.
And to hear my voice on the microphone, I was like, never again. I was like, that is diabolical. In your head, you think you're a beautiful singer, but no.
See, that's one of the things with podcast and editing as well. See this, I could never listen to my voice back because it would drive me insane, like over and over again.
I did the visual arts in college for like 8 years. Like at the start, I was like, oh my god, I can't see myself. I'm so ugly. I sound disgusting. But after like listening to yourself and hearing yourself, you kind of be like, you put up with it.
Okay.
Like I feels bad because all my friends never did any of this, and I hope they're comfortable, because everyone sounds class and everyone sounds professional, like more professional than me.
Do you see it as you, or do you separate it when you're editing? Just like that's a different person.
I kind of separate it.
Yeah, I think it's the best way.
Because like even sometimes like I'll finish watching it, and like once I post it on YouTube, I'll kind of like put it on the TV, so I'm like in the perspective as like a random person, jumping in for the first time, and I'm just like, yeah, that's not me talking, but like it clearly is me talking. It's so strange. So you're a photographer? Or do you just do wee bits of photography?
Yes, so we'll use that term loosely. When I first came back from Madrid, at that time Belfast'S football club was starting up, and that started up before me. I was at the first sessions, but I was not involved with the setting up of that or anything. And I just wanted to support them kind of building up an audience, so I helped them out doing a bit of photography when they were starting for social media.
Okay.
And then I worked with Show Some Love and did a bit of photography for them as well. When I say photography, very much a hobbyist and not professional by any manner.
But if you've like done like work, it's still a photographer.
I hit the button, yeah.
Still put something to put on the CV. And you got to see how weekly football training affected the team's confidence and mental health positively. Would you also recommend creative hobby groups like photography to help improve mental health, just like physical activity?
Yeah, well, I couldn't have got into the sports if it wasn't for the arts. I come up through the
Yeah,
arts, so it
yeah.
was building up that confidence. And with the show, because it's such a, if you do a show, you're working on a show for about 3 months with a completely different team, and then you become a family,
Yeah.
and then that show ends, and then you meet a new family, and you have to get used to that really quickly. So that's
Yeah.
been around of meeting people and having the confidence to have those conversations,
Yeah.
and to kind of say, I know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
because that's the scariest thing in the entire world to say those words.
Yeah, no, I totally know what I'm on about, but I
Yeah.
really don't.
So creative's a great way to kind of build up those skills.
Yeah, no, that's good. Because, like, I remember I'd done a documentary in college, and it was kind of like, how to incorporate creative as well as physical activities to help improve the mental health. And it went down such a wormhole of
Yeah.
things, and, like, how, like, creative activities, like, the silliest of hobbies can help, like, maintain
Yeah.
good mental health. I tried to do physical activity. I just couldn't stick at it, to be fair. The most I could do is the gym. And then, like, I walk about the place, and that's enough. If I kick a ball, I fall over.
Well, that's the thing, coming from the creative industry, one of the things why I've been able to work with so many national governing bodies is that I'm coming from it from an arts background. I'm not coming from it at a sports background. So they have their market, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I come in with goofy, silly ridiculousness and just be like, let's just make it a bit more fun and a bit
Yeah,
more like,
you
no one
want it to
take
be
it that
fun.
serious.
You want it to be good crack. So you founded the first inclusive GAA group, and you founded the only...
First inclusive GA club in Ulster, so there was one in Dublin started before us.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, so it was the first one in Ulster.
Yeah.
That's still an achievement in itself, to be fair. And you founded the only LGBTQ plus running group in Ulster as well.
Yeah.
I had to correct myself there. Which is Ulster Frontrunners, which raised £650 for Positive Life in the North's only HIV charity.
Yes,
Yeah?
Positive Life, and
Yeah.
that's now Belfast Frontrunners they've changed their name to.
Oh,
I think
okay,
the problem
sorry.
was that they didn't want to. Basically, because it's set in Belfast, they wanted to give other towns opportunities to set up. So
Fair
if I
enough.
call it Ulster Frontrunners
It's
and
kinda
Derry
like
wants to set it up, it's just
abroad.
like, do we have to be part of yours or can we not have our own? Basically?
That's fair enough. You were involved in creating the North's first inclusive rowing team, the Lagan Mermaids.
Love that
That's
one.
class. Like, I remember I joined Sea Cadets. I used to live in the Isle of Man, and I loved water sports.
Yeah.
And I thought, there's not really water sports over there, but Sea Cadets, I hated it.
Yeah.
Because it was just all like, let's tie a knot. I want to be out in the water.
Yeah.
Like, rowing seemed, because you probably noticed that, like, Patora, there's like a big rowing kind of club there. I'm looking over, and I'm like, that looks so much fun,
Yeah.
but I'm too old to, like, join that now.
Why are you too old? What age are you?
I gotta think there. I'm 26.
I was 32 when I started rowing.
Really?
Yeah, so.
Well, it's more or less, it's not that my age, but it's my awkwardness.
Okay.
I feel like if I joined those clubs when I was younger, I could build
Yeah.
the relationships or whatever. If I join them now, I'm just such an oddball. Like, who do I speak
But if
to?
it was a gay club.
Oh, well, true, yeah.
we go.
That's what I mean. Like, see, when I hang out with, like, the LGBT
Yeah.
community, like, I feel so, like, included, not judged at all. But see, if it was, like, a whole straight,
Yeah.
club, I'd be like, oh, they're talking shit about me.
Would you go to a club if it was set up and you knew it was a gay club but you didn't know anyone there, or would you have to go with somebody?
I mean, I'd always bring him with me.
Okay.
Anything. He's like rolling his eyes, but like, yeah, because I'm a shitbag. I'll feel a bit more confident if I had someone on my side.
Yeah.
You promote and get involved with the Belfast LGBTQ plus social basketball group and participated in the LGBTQ plus inclusive rugby team Belfast'S. We got to meet them. They came from
Yes,
Pride.
I seen the video actually on Instagram.
I felt so bad because I said to Leah, who's on the podcast, I said, we need to interview them. They look fucking class. We need to. When we go up to them, they're so shy. And I was just like, lads, you would make such great content, but we didn't want to pressure them. But they were such a good sport. Yeah.
I think I love that I'm on this and I'm just like saying girls do this, birds do this.
Yeah.
People don't just like stop stereotyping people. But I think it is a thing with birds that they are more reserved or something a little bit.
They look very scary, but they
Yeah.
are they're big softies.
It would be good even if you just go to Belfast maybe because they're sponsored by the Maverick and you could do an episode in the Maverick or something.
You don't know how much I want to get to fucking
Yeah.
Belfast. There's just
They would
more
love
of
that
our
too.
there's more of our people up there. There's more crack up there, and like, again, I do photography. I love doing concerts and stuff.
Yeah.
There's like one concert a year in
Yeah.
Enniskillen. There's nothing down
We need
here.
to make more come out.
Yes, and
It's the entire west of the country. It seems to be is quite
That's
because
it.
Galway was quite difficult because I work with Sporting Pride. We did all Ireland, so we would work with clubs down in Cork, Dublin,
Yeah.
Belfast would kind of be the three central hubs, and then you have a little bit around the Midlands. But see, once you start to go west, it's so difficult to get anything.
I mean,
up and going.
that's what we're trying to like do with this podcast, because there's nothing like this side of the island. Like, you kind of, all your community and all, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like if you want the answers, you kind of need to go to that community that's
Yeah.
all in Belfast. And I thought if we just have like a bunch of our friends talking about the same stuff they'd say there, maybe it get picked up, but it's really hard to
Yeah.
find the reach. And we do get like called retards and liberals and all this fucking bullshit. Like it's just absolute. It's TikTok. I hate
Okay.
TikTok. People on TikTok are horrible.
I stay off that up.
Yeah, I know, right? They're unhinged on
Yeah.
there. Is there any other sports you want to more inclusion, like hurling?
So hurling, we actually, when we set up the GA Club Aeracha Uladh GAC, we had a guy called Shane, and if he's watching this and his name's not Shane, I'm so sorry. He moved to Australia actually, but he came down with, in the boots, had about 40 hurls.
Okay.
And then after each session, a couple of people would hang around and just have a bit of a play around
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
hurls. And it was usually girls actually, so that would be the camogies. There was
Yeah.
about 10 girls, maybe, and about 4 guys, and it would literally just be a mess around. Kind
Yeah,
of fella.
yeah, you just
I
fuck
did
about.
go to one session with the Gael Aeracha, which is the first LGBTQIA team down in Dublin
Okay.
for hurley, and I'm terrible at that. It felt like,
Really?
do you know, the egg and spoon race?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just like, I don't know what I'm doing. The ball would
It
stay up.
is so different
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Like, oh god.
It's so dangerous. I was
I
just like, this
know.
is terrifying.
Yeah, you see them with the big helmets and stuff,
yeah.
and oh god.
I do have the helmets, but that's just fashion. So.
Yeah, no, yeah. I did see there's ones in, or is it in O'Neill's? They have like the Fermanagh one. I'm like, that looks sick. I just wear that about the house, looking hard as shit. Sport and Pride and the NI Liaison Officer has collaborated with many national governing bodies, including GAA, LGFA, IFA, IRFU, Rowan Ireland, Athletics Ireland, and Squash Ireland on a number of EDI programs, which resulted in the number of Ulster LGBTQ+ inclusive sports clubs increasing from 10 to 3. Due to this clear high demand for LGBTQ+ sports inclusion, were you disappointed when there was little to no communication back from Sport NI after meetings about financial support and recognising Sport and Pride as an official Sport NI partner? Because I read that like Richard Archibald, the director of Sport NI, revealed that £1 million in funding was returned back to the Department of Communities after not being spent.
Yeah.
That's a shitty move, to be honest. That's so fucked up because it's
Yeah.
clearly like it's there to be used, and it just seems a bit homophobic. Like, oh, we're not going to give you this money, but there's clearly a high demand for this inclusion sport.
Well, it was a very interesting way they did it. So we got the Sporting Pride Committee up to Belfast for the first Northern Irish AGM back in 2022, 23. I can't actually remember. I think it was February 2023.
Okay.
And there we invited Sport NI down and a guy called John, who is someone important in Sport NI. I don't know what any of them do. Just
yeah.
like names. I'm just like, hi.
Yeah.
So he came down to talk to us and just to get a bit of background about what Sporting Pride does. And we had a brilliant conversation. And then it was just interesting, his terminology, because we were hosting it at the LGBT Resource Centre
Okay.
due to Quire Friend organising the space for us. And he asked us directly, why would we give you the money and not Quire Friend? So how can you fight another LGBT organisation to take our
Seriously?
funding? It's like,
Fight
why
to the
should we
death?
be fighting against each other for funding where if you give the money to Quire Friend
You
will
share?
work with us?
Yeah.
So it felt very much just like if you bicker amongst yourselves, there's a distraction over there and you won't look at us about
That's
the funding.
horrible.
And it was about a year later when it all came out that there was £1 million underspend over, I think it was over 2 years, and it was David Honeyford from the Alliance Party was one of the ones trying to basically restart Sport NI and being like, this is a mess and you've really screwed up here. Since then, they have worked a little bit closer. Sport Ireland have definitely got a lot more involved with us, and we do have programmes with Sport Ireland in
Okay.
the south. It's just taken a bit of time to get to the north, which is one of the reasons I've left Sporting Pride. Is I still have a great relationship with Sporting Pride,
Yeah.
but if leaving them to start up for a game, I can focus more on what's happening up in the north rather than being distracted by 32 counties of madness.
Yeah, no, there's a lot down there,
Yeah.
isn't it?
You mentioned you were writing a book of the last 50 years of LGBTQ plus sports in Ireland. How's the book coming along, and have you come across anything interesting in your research?
There has been a few interesting stories. I love that you asked me that question. My friend Quire is also a writer, and she's publishing a book at the moment about class, but she's like proper academic writer and is doing this for Queens and has like got this big funding opportunity in America.
Yeah.
And she asked me on Saturday there, she's like, how's the book coming along? And I was like, it's okay. Yeah, definitely coming along. I've taken a break now for the last 2 weeks or so. Yeah, it's a lot of interesting stories. Basically, the first two that I interviewed were the Hikers Club in Dublin and the Hikers Club in Belfast. The Belfast Club started in 2000 around. These dates are probably a little askew, but they're close enough. And then the one in Dublin started about 10 years or so before. And it was interesting hearing both their perspectives on LGBT life in the 1990s versus in 2000s, and also the similarities of how Dublin had moved faster when it comes, surprisingly, comes to LGBT rights than Belfast had moved. So a lot of the stories they were telling me about people having to basically hide that it was an LGBT hiking club and they didn't want to use that terminology. There was no photos allowed at it. They didn't want anyone being identified. Because I think it was 2004 around that they brought in the law that you could no longer be fired for being LGBT, which was my first job. Actually, when I was 16, I remember it was still within the law that if I had to come out as gay, my boss had the right to fire me.
That's
and I'm
disgusting.
just like, I think I'm young, but the fact that that was so recent is insane to me.
That's disgusting.
So it was interesting hearing that from the hikers. The other groups that I've spoken to is mostly the North ones because I was involved with them from the beginning, so it was quite easy to set them up. Interesting stories I'm trying to find. Read the book. I'm just going to leave that.
You were nominated for the Advocate Award Sporting Pride for Inclusive Supporting Award HSC LGBTQ plus Staff Forum for Supportive Employer Awards. Is this your first award for your achievements?
So I call myself the Meryl Streep of the Belfast Pride Awards because I think this is like my 20th nomination and I've had one win in 20 nominations. And I'm just like, now it's just the punch in the face in this one. So tomorrow is the GNI Awards actually. So yes, we're up for the HSC LGBT Staff Forum, which is all the trusts across Northern Ireland, a kind of committee to support LGBT staff members. They're up for employer award. Sporting Pride are up for the Sports Award, and then myself is up for the Advocate Award as well. So this is the first time I've been up for 3 for the GNI Awards. When I first started Aeracha Uladh, there was a lot more. We were up for Belfast Pride Awards every year. We get about 2 or 3 nominations. We got a Belfast Sporting Award nomination, which was my favourite one because it's nothing to do with LGBT. It was just about general sports.
Yeah,
and
it's like
LGBT
it's like the whole category. That's class.
So having a queer person in that for not the first time because there is a lot of LGBT people involved in sports, but it was the first time that it was someone who was actively focusing on LGBT content rather than. Oh, that sounded so insulting where I was about to go. But like, for instance, in the LGFA, you would get a lot of lesbian players who are fantastic LGFA players and they're getting awarded for that, but they're not primarily doing it for LGBT causes. So this is the first time LGBT specific. So it was interesting. It's also interesting in Belfast because it was in Belfast City Hall and I was very aware that there was a lot of people in that room who obviously wouldn't support LGBT people. And I was like, it's quite like you can't really stop us anymore. We're here, we're in the room, our voices are being heard.
We got our vote. I voted.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we got the vote from the podcast. Don't worry.
Brilliant.
So fingers crossed, you get it.
Podcast category would be nice to come up as well because there's a lot of the drag queens as well in Belfast have started up podcasts.
Yeah,
too, so.
see, like I think we're still so. This is the whole thing. Like I don't think we're getting our reach, and I know you probably have. It's best to pay, those wee promotion things on Instagram. But like this is super low budget. Our microphones are taped up together, and like all these lights are cheap, and everything's like bog standard. So, like, I suppose that's a good thing because we're starting from the bottom up. But, like, again, like, I just don't think we're getting the reach.
Yeah, I would be against paying for those. I think I'm still in debt with Facebook because when I was doing theatre, I paid for one.
Okay.
And then it wasn't, I just, like, I'm going to stop paying this. And then I kept getting an email for, like, years after it being like, you're £10 underpaid or something. It's like, you're not getting my money. So.
Zuckerberg can suck a dick. Honestly, he's got enough money.
But I think one of the good things is, like, the types of guests you're bringing on. Like you were saying, we're speaking to the rugby boys. That's a new audience. Speaking to myself, that's a new audience. Queer Women's Collective, completely new audience, so it'll just build up.
That's it. It's like the collaborations really gets our eyes out there. But like, there's been a few people like the Queer Women's Collective that have been like, oh, we can't do it this time. Yeah. Do you know Paul Bloomer?
Yes.
Yeah, I really
He's up for an award tomorrow as well.
I put him down for a vote as well. But like, he was due to come in Tuesday, and I was just like, "Oh, you gonna come?" And there's no reply, and I was like, "Oh, heartbroken," because he would have been someone to talk to. Like, so interesting. He was a police officer. I think so. I'm not too sure.
I think he is.
I know he was on the Pride Committee for a while.
Okay, yeah, and he must have been just flat out. But yeah, no, that was a shame. But yeah, like the Alstons would be class. I'd really love to reach out to like like women's like Gaelic football, like if there's any bisexual players or lesbian players, I'd love to have them on the show. But I'm like, how do you ask that question without it being that's none of your business?
There's a girl I can connect you with, and
I'd love this.
Every time I'm bad with my memory, I look right at that camera and just like I know nobody's names. You will figure this out. See if you meet me in like 5 weeks. I have face blindness. So it's like, hi.
There's no worries.
But no, she's lovely, and she does PRO for East Belfast GA, which is the first not the first Protestant GA, but the first kind of non-parish-based GA club that existed.
Okay.
And the actual LGBT clubs were able to start inspired by what East Belfast did, because they broke the kind of systematic thing that you had to be connected to
Yeah.
a parish, so they allowed us to be created. But they have a lot of LGBT. We actually did a podcast for Down LGFA for Pride last year.
Sick.
And we had her on, and Mickey Murray, he was Lord Mayor at the time.
Okay.
Just talking about the GA
Yeah,
and the LGFA.
no,
So
I'd
she'd
lo-
be definitely up for it.
I'd love like the girls on. Like we can like reach out to guys. They've no bother
Yeah.
getting here, but see, trying to get like women on or like non-binary people on, it's like it's rough. It's hard.
I think she'll do it. I think it should
Yeah,
be good crack
would she
as
be up
well,
for it?
And she might
Class,
even know
yeah.
contacts out here if she can't do it herself.
Okay, cool. No, I'll put that in the bank, definitely.
And I will remember your name. I'm so sorry.
You won't.
You mentioned on Instagram that you heard the GAA speak about the future of trans, non-binary and intersex inclusion policies at Dublin Pride. What did they say?
So it was very positive. It was actually, they had a breakfast. So we went down to, what's the one in Dublin? Crook Park. Crook Park had like a hotel.
Oh,
I was
the
very
Croke Park Hotel.
disappointed because when I first set up the GA team in Ulster, I got an invite from the GA to come down to do like a tour of Crook Park and to meet a few people. And basically at that time, it was before I set up the committee. So it was me running an entire organisation, being like, I don't know what I'm doing and there's no one here to help me. And then I got the committee together, and by that time we just got busy with other things that got passed. So then when that breakfast came up and they said, come down, we're having a breakfast at Crook Park, I was like, oh my God, I'm finally going to get to Crook Park. And then I got to the doors of Crook Park and the security member looking at me just like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then I pulled out the
No
invite
way.
and it was the hotel beside it,
Oh.
which is lovely, but I was like, oh, I thought I was getting in finally.
I'd be raging.
So the guy, again, terrible with names, the CEO or the chair of GAA was there at the breakfast, and he did an interview with a couple of the ones from the Gael Aeracha, and they were just talking about, he is a school teacher, and he actually got contacted by the parents of kids in the school who were encouraging him to work more closely with the LGBT side of GAA. So he found it really inspiring that it was actually voices coming from the community, that a lot of people would have the fear that they were the ones who would turn against, especially parents, because you always get those parents who are just like, they're trying to turn all our kids trans, they're trying
Yeah.
to turn all our kids gay, but they wanted him to go down that route, and he said that inspired him to get involved. So I know he's worked very closely with Gael Aeracha. We worked with them on a project for about 6 months, which was the LGFA, to release their transgender policies. That was back in 2023. And now there's quite a large merge happening in the GAA between Camogie, LGFA and GAA, where they're coming together. So they're going to relook at those policies, and we're hoping they'll introduce them into the GAA. The good thing about them having them in the LGFA is that a lot of people's problem seems to be women's sports. So they've kind of solved that, where they've got, not solved it, but they've got a policy in place that protects trans women who are playing LGFA. We just don't have a policy for trans men, but I don't think trans men get discriminated. That's a bit weird to say, but discriminated against in the same way, because it's a sexist thing. They want to control women's sports essentially.
Yeah.
And when it's men's sports, they're just like, well, a trans man's a woman, so we're not threatened by that at all. And it's just like, it's not really inclusive, but at least you're letting us in the room, I guess.
Yeah,
So
no.
One of the main transphobic comments I hear is the concerns of trans people getting involved in sports. What would you say to people who would make these comments?
a few things. One of the things is that everybody talks about kind of like statistics, and people are just like, this is the facts behind it. When it comes to the statistics, there is no research. There was a research centre that you probably know about in Germany back before Hitler came in, which was the first trans resource clinic in the world, and they had fantastic research.
No
and then the
way.
Nazis came in and burnt the building down, destroyed all the research, got rid of everything.
Oh my God,
And
I
then we
never
had to
heard of
start up
that.
again.
That's
Yeah,
sick.
So I think
Well, it's not sick that they burnt it down. Sorry, I didn't mean it. But like, it's mad that I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
But
it's an
like,
interesting part of trans history.
yeah, because it's like, because everyone says like, oh, trans, all these labels, were these made up yesterday?
Mhm.
And I'll be sending people like, no, this was like Sigmund Freud came up with this term in like 1912. Like
Yeah.
these labels, these things have been about for like hundreds of years
Yeah.
now. Like, and people just don't realize that.
And this was a huge research centre back in the early 1900s. So,
Yeah.
And then again, it just got evaporated. And then you have the kind of Christianity that crossed America in the 1950s when they translated the Bible, and then they were able to kind of use... It was all about... I think the modern thing with religion is they bring politics into it. So when they were doing the Bible in America, it wasn't a Christian Bible, it was a Republican American Bible, kind
Right,
of going
yeah.
for their policies. And now we've passed, say, 3 generations where people are just confused. So when I speak to transphobic people, I hate when people get angry and start like fighting with each other, because I'm
Yeah.
just like, and might sound a bit mean too, but when I'm speaking to them, I'm just like, they're just dumb. They're just
No, it's like ignorance. It's like they don't want to hear the reasoning. This like, no, that is disgusting. I don't want to hear it. No, that's wrong. And it's such a backwards way of thinking. And there's a lot of like boomers out there that just have that mindset, and it's so hard. You can't argue with stupid. That's what it is. You can't argue with stupid.
And it's always just a no for them. And I'm just like, you can say no to trans people getting involved in sports if you respond with, what is your idea? How do you think this should go? Because the idea that they always seem to have is just the trans people should go away. They say live your life, but don't use a bathroom, don't play sports, don't go out in public, don't get a job. And I'm just like, so
that's not
go underground.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, just end yourself. Like, what is a life without those things?
You know what?
Silly.
Maybe Hitler was trans. Maybe that's why they burnt down the
Could have been.
got rid of all the research.
I actually watched a video, and he actually did have like a condition, you know, because like, did you ever hear the fact that he only had one testicle?
No.
Okay, well apparently he did have like
deep dive into
his other testicle, but no, apparently like he had like a genetic thing where he just had like, you know what, I could be completely wrong, but he just had like less of testosterone.
Yeah.
Which is, I must look up that again. It was crazy.
I know one thing, he was bad at art.
Well, he didn't make
Started
it as an artist. You know,
That's what started it.
That was his Joker moment.
See, that's what happened. People promoted my arts, and I got involved in gay sports. People turned away his arts, and he did all of that mess.
Yeah, oh my god, caused genocide.
But one of the things I would say to the NGBs again is just have the conversation. We work with the IRFU a lot. Sorry, not we, have left Sporting Pride now. But I would work with them separately as well. And when we do that, we get a lot of hate from the community, especially the trans community, that are saying, you're a traitor, you're turning on us, you're working with the people that are putting us down. And I'm just like, well, you need to be in the room to have the conversation, because the IRFU have give us the most financial backing to LGBT sports in the entire country. And that's not a known fact. But like, if I asked them, we were speaking to them there a year ago, and we wanted to get a bit of money together for a men's sports day down in Dublin, because we'd always done women's sports days down there, because women prefer to be in women's company essentially. So we did a men's sports down there, and we needed a bit of funding for it, so we went to the RFU, and the response was, how much do you want? And you don't get that from national governing bodies. It takes Rowing Ireland, Rowing Ireland. No, it was Sport NI at the time. Rowing Ireland did give us the money up front. Sport NI took 6 months to pay, so we had to pay out of pocket as a community organisation. And then for 6 months we were in debt, and they were just like, oh, the money's going to come. And I was just like, you just have £1 million that you weren't spending, so just like give us our £600. So working with the national governing bodies, we can see a definite interest from them that they do want to be trans inclusive. They just don't know where to start or where to go. And unfortunately, with a lot of the LGBT organisations like the Rainbow Project, like Quire Friend, Common Youth and all that, they don't really have the backing of sports research either. So Sporting Pride in Ireland, at least, was the first to kind of bring together LGBT and sports research. And that was in 2018. So they're a very young organisation, but they need money to be able to do that research. So working with the national governing bodies, we can move that direction. And they are, like, I've never met a national governing body who shuts the door in our faces and says they don't want to. The IFA were a little bit difficult, because the IFA are apparently a charity, which I looked into a bit too. It's a very confusing setup they have, but I think there's two versions of the IFA.
Okay.
And the community part of it is a charity, and then you have the IFA, which is over like the Northern Ireland football team and everything, which is the one that has like all the millions. So when we were working with the IFA, they kept saying, we have no money, and we're just like a charity organisation. I was like, but you're the IFA, you're literally the biggest sport in the country. Like, I know yous are worth millions. It's like, but that's not our IFA. So it was very confusing. But the rest of them have been very upfront of saying, come into the room, present us with the facts. I can talk about personal experience. Like when I set up the GAA club, we did it as it was non-gender, so we didn't do LGFA and GAA. Everyone was together. Okay. And the girls were better than the guys, and they know that.
Always.
Like, it's very obvious.
Always the
that
point.
The girls, yeah. So when people are just like, guys are so much more faster and so much stronger, I was just like, the girls were kicking their ass when it was in real life right in front of me. So I know there's a theory about this strength, but it's really not like that in real life. But you do need to sit down and gather that evidence, and unfortunately we don't have the money at the moment, which is why I'm doing for our game, is to try and get those resources built up that we can do the research. I think that's where it's going to start, is a very boring, no more sports days, no more gay sports clubs. It's going to be sitting down and actually pulling together statistics so that we can start a conversation.
Class. Do you want to speak more about Fair Game?
Fair Game basically was, when did I leave Sporting Pride? I'm going to say about 6 months ago, I started the conversation of kind of stepping away a little bit. At that point, we had so let me take you back. I jump time frames all
No,
the time.
no, take your time.
So when I got involved in Sporting Pride, we had Belfast Blaze, we had Belfast'S, the rugby club, and we had the hiking group. Then since my involvement, we've got the basketball group, the Gaelic group, the running group. We've got another hiking group that started out in Donegal, actually. We have got Out in Active NI, which is just a general activity group, I guess. They just like play a different sport every week, or bowling or games or something
Okay.
like that there. And then you've got the squash, and then you've got the tennis. So the community kind of built up and started working amongst themselves, where I kind of felt we've got a community now. I'm no longer needed in the way I was at the very beginning. So I stepped away from that and was just like, we've got a LGBT sports community, and I always say Ulster, but it really is Belfast, unfortunately, because
Okay,
everything's
yeah.
centred in Belfast. But it exists, so I want to do the next step, basically. And at the moment, there is a big conversation about banning it. Only this week they were announcing the banning of trans people from the Olympics. For the first time since 2004.
I did see that on my phone. Yeah, it was trans and then women with high testosterone levels.
Yeah.
That was so fucking stupid. I'm so sorry, but that is so silly. Like, I would see myself, like, I probably have more testosterone than I do of estrogen, but, like, I'm not going to be, like, going into sports, but to think that I couldn't perform in women's sports because of that,
Yeah.
it's fucking stupid, like.
Well, you look at like Amin Khalif, I think her name was, who is the intersex girl who was the boxer, who is
That's
found.
right,
Yeah.
and she got fucking slated for being trans, and that is just
No
how she
connection,
looked. That's
yeah.
how she looked. Do you remember that?
I
It
remember
was
that,
so
yeah.
disgusting.
But
Because imagine
conservatives
seeing
are
that
still going out and
abuse
saying that's a
online.
man. Like, they will deny that that's a woman.
Yeah.
I'm just like, well, there's a birth certificate. There was pictures
Yeah.
of her as a little girl.
It's
on the
disgusting
back.
that you have to prove that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, there's people nowadays that have to, like, if they're going into the women's bathroom, show me your tits to prove you're a woman. That's fuck it. If someone said that
Yeah.
to me, they're getting a box of the fucking face.
I've seen
It's
that about like
rotten.
lesbians in America being kicked
Yeah.
out because they're not feminine enough and stuff. But within sports, it kind of comes back to that. It's a race thing as well. So in 1902, I think, was the first time that they let Black Africans compete in the Olympics. And it was two men from South Africa. And since then, West Africa now is 90 to 95% of the top Olympic medals, the top running, the top track. I'm just like, that's a genetic advantage.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're now taking out trans people because of a genetic advantage.
Yeah.
What's next?
Oh my
Where are you going
God.
with? Is this going to be race? Is this going to be everything else?
That's it.
So it's kind of terrifying to see where they could go, because it is about conservative values, and any sports research done on kind of things like your testosterone was all done on white Western men and women. So that's kind of how they base everything
Yeah.
off. So when you meet people from other countries, it's a different genetic makeup
Mm-hmm.
that people have based on where they're from. So they are being discriminated against because they aren't that white Western person.
That's crazy. No, it does narrow it down. Like, they just want white people walking about. What was it Hitler wanted? Blonde hair, blue eyes, white skin. Like, we're going back in time.
And he was dark hair, dark eyes, and about
Oh
5
my
foot tall,
god,
so-
yeah. And one bollock.
The opposite of, yeah.
Sorry. I need to fact check that. I don't know.
Yeah, because Hitler's going to get you.
You
Can
got
that be
to-
the name of the episode?
What?
Hitler has one bollock.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, that'll be it. But you were looking board members, was it?
Yes.
So what does that entail?
So it will be meeting 4 times a year. I'm kind of looking people from 2 bases. The first is professional athletes. So I've reached out to a couple of professional athletes. I've been speaking to the guy who's kind of advising me and setting up, and we've actually changed the context of how we're setting up the company. I don't want to give it too much, but the idea that we have at the moment is basically a UK and Ireland wide union for
Okay.
LGBT sports people at all levels, going from recreational up to top level. So we've reached out to professional athletes in Scotland, Wales, England, Ireland and Northern Ireland, just to have representatives from each of the provinces, essentially. On top of that, I would also be really interested in people from business background, funding, finance,
Oh yeah,
because
you need
everything's
that.
about money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You need that connect.
So I have a little bit of experience with that, but I also, like I was saying about editing, I hate paperwork. So I'm just like, I would like someone to do the paperwork for me, and then I can just go out
sorry,
and
not
do this
paperwork.
stuff.
I can't do that shit. But if you ever want me to do like some editing for you,
Could you do my
I-
taxes and just...
Oh no, I'll be like, numbers go over my
Uh-huh.
head. No, like maths I failed big time, but
No, I hate
visual
maths.
arts I kind of got there at.
But no, even board members we're looking for, but anyone that really wants to get involved, and not only for a game, but like I said, I've stepped back from Sporting Pride now, so there is a gap in Sporting Pride for Northern Ireland representation on their board as well. So there's loads of opportunities to kind of get involved,
Get
and to have
involved.
somebody from this side of Ireland
Yeah.
would make a huge difference.
Yeah.
And how would one get involved if they want to?
Instagram is kind of the
Just
best way to do it.
message yourself,
But
or
my way to do it was, I'll tell this my story as well. So after COVID, I wanted to do an LGBT sports day, and that was how I got involved with Sporting Pride. So I did handwritten letters
Oh, sweet.
with this is okay.
So
envelope
old school.
Yeah.
with the envelope handwritten in rainbow. So like each line was a different colour of the rainbow,
Oh.
and sent this to every LGBT organisation in Ireland, being like, let's get together, let's do a sports day, and only one responded, which was Sporting Pride.
No way.
Which obviously the sports organisations, so that kind of worked into what they were
Yeah.
looking for. At the time they didn't want to do a sports day, but they were like, come on board, see what we're doing, and see if you can kind of bring it to. And now there is a national LGBT sports day down in Sport Ireland annually around October, I think it is, called Let's Get Visible. And then each of the
Okay.
national governing bodies take part in that campaign. So IRFU, IFA, GAA all do a Let's Get Visible kind of week where they put it on all like their logos and their branding to support
Yeah.
LGBT players.
You've watched like our wee videos or it's like some of the podcast.
Yes, I watched today actually the Fermanagh Pride.
Oh yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
So that was our first like interview with like
Okay.
someone. Like I do like love like when we have all of us on. It's kind of like we could be bickering and stuff.
Okay.
But see when we have someone like yourself or David Doherty, like we just have like this professionalism, and
Okay.
that's what I want to achieve. Like I want people to know we're not just like I was handing out flyers, not yesterday, the day before, just around town, and I went into the 24-hour shop and I was like, can I put a flyer up? They're like, yeah, no bother. They didn't even want to look at it. And I was like, this could be like neo-Nazi stuff. Like, you know, it was crazy.
Why is Hitler on your
I don't know. We're just like talking so much Hitler talk and
I
yeah.
am part German, by the way. So
Oh, I'm so sorry. Shit.
maybe that's why. Maybe the German has
I
come
mean,
in.
he's Austrian.
yeah.
Different. But what was I talking about? Yeah, you watched like some of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Is there any advice or anything we could improve or anything?
You're asking someone who give up on podcasts, and it's like, I'm terrible at this. No, I think when you're talking about the professionalism, that's a lot of, from the LGBT sports groups, a lot of feedback I get is that they would prefer if I went into spaces a bit more professional.
Yeah.
And I hate that crap. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, no, because when I start speaking to a national governing body who is in professional business meetings all day, the only reason they're talking to me is because I'm having a chat with them and they're
Yeah.
having a wee break in their
That's
day. And
it,
they're just
yeah.
like, oh, this is someone I can, because it's like if you're doing job interviews or hand anybody, you need to like the person.
Yeah.
It's not about, like, it is about the professionalism and their experience and their skills. But once you've got that, if you don't like somebody and you're not connecting with them, you don't want to work with them every day. So
Yeah,
like, I
yeah.
have no interest in that.
It's a personality
Yeah.
too, yeah.
So I just go in with like, I'm just here to do what I want to do,
Yeah.
and if you don't like it, I'll leave and go somewhere else,
Fair
basically.
enough.
So that's my relationship with the governing bodies, and I think with the podcast, it's the same thing. Like I've started listening to a couple of podcasts now, and for me, it's about personality and it's getting to know the characters.
Yeah.
And see that kind of thing you're saying about bickering.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why people come back. They're just
Really?
like,
Do you think
oh, how is
so?
the bickering happening?
Yeah,
Have they moved
true.
forward? Are they friends
Yeah,
again?
yeah.
Where is
Like
it?
we've joked a few times that like there will not be a next episode. But yeah.
It's a reality show, basically. It's what
That's
they're
it,
looking-
yeah. It's like our own wee like Big Brother
Yeah, yeah.
kind of. I seen that you shared this thing on your story because I literally just got caught up in Big Brother 2
This is
where
with Jenny.
Was saying that no one's ever won a contest from Northern Ireland, and you just corrected her.
See, after I posted that, and one of the guys who won the pottery competition reposted it. It's like,
Go
am I going to
away.
start a bickering
Go
with
away.
Jenny
That's
from Big Brother? Because that's a gay.
But like it's a bit like ignorant because there has been
Yeah.
like 3 other people that you've quoted.
Do you know any Fermanagh people?
Right. So I was actually thinking about this on the bus. Kieran McMenamin, the actor, I believe, is from Fermanagh. You can look that up after. Do not quote me on that. And I've worked with him a couple of times.
Ooh.
Who else? James McGuire. I remember he was from Enniskillen. And there's another person I know from Enniskillen that I'll talk about when this is stopped recording.
Okay, no
but apart
problem.
from that, I don't think anybody else.
I do find like when you go to Belfast and someone is like, you're chatting to someone, they're like, oh, where you're from, and you're like, Fermanagh, and they're like, where's that?
No.
Yeah.
You're like, where's
Literally.
that?
No one knows where it
It's
is.
like, and then you're like, why are we the forgotten county?
That's it. There's like a TikTok trend on like no one cares about Fermanagh or no one
Yeah.
knows where Fermanagh is. Like, it doesn't exist or something like that. But unfortunately, it does exist.
There is a few people from here, like I'm saying, Kieran McMenamin, he's quite a big actor at the moment. He does a lot of TV series, and I think there's a few more. Is the Bruna Gallagher and stuff? Is she not from this direction?
Ooh,
Or is she Derry? She might be
She
Derry.
might be Derry.
Yeah.
can't
There's
mind.
a couple of actors from Fermanagh. There's
do you-
Dunbar.
Dunbar. Adrian
Adrian
Dunbar
Dunbar.
from Line
Oh.
Duty. Yeah.
Hate him.
You hate him?
He once called me homeless. Hi.
No, exposed. Tell me all. Why?
So when the new Lyric Theatre first opened in 2009, 2010, 2011, one of those 3 years, his show was the first show happening in the Lyric, and I got a job on the second show, which was the 30th anniversary of Martin Lynch's Dockers, and basically all we were for that was like, it was basically like being an extra in theatre.
Okay.
We were like dockers in the background who were carrying around set pieces, so doing ASM work, but also a little bit of like cheering and interacting. So there was a lot of downtime. So in the green room, I would just kind of chill out or go out for a smoke or come in and just lie down. So he started calling me the homeless man in the Lyric, Adrian Dunbar, and going around and be like, who is the homeless guy in the green room? And I was like, from this moment, I hate Adrian Dunbar, and I didn't know who he was. And then I started speaking to people, and they were just like, that's Adrian Dunbar. He's like
Oh
a
my
big deal. And I
God.
was like, well, he's a...
Fucking hell.
I'm not his biggest fan. Who else?
Who else
Can
can
I
we
bitch
bitch
about?
about? Who else can we bitch about?
Oh, there's a guy from Carnage Street, but I don't know. I don't know. He went to school in Fermanagh. I'm not sure if he's from here. He went to primary school here.
Is
Did
he
you
a
ever-
bitch?
Did you ever watch Carnage Street?
I would have, like, back in the
So
day.
did you know Steve McDonald's father?
Yes. No, I know who. I can picture his face. Who
so
you're talking about.
him.
Yeah, yeah.
He went to primary school in Fermanagh, I think.
Yes. He's done a few shows over here as well, I think. I can literally... No one can see his face.
Is his name Charlie Lawson or something like that?
Maybe. I won't get the name.
I think it's something like that, yeah.
But I am very much that person where once you leave Belfast, I'm like, so there's Belfast, and then there's Dublin, and then there's all this other stuff in between that.
Grass.
I don't know where any of
Fields.
Even going to Derry, I'm just like, I don't know where I am. I'm so confused by everything.
I've got a good one. Do you know Dairy Girls?
Yeah.
Do you know Jenny? They were like,
Oh, yes, yeah,
right.
yeah.
So I worked in Pound Stretcher back in
Okay.
the day, and this is during COVID, where like everyone wearing masks.
Mm-hmm.
But like I even looked at her, and I was like, I fucking know who you are. She came to the till. I was serving her, and she was there like her boyfriend. And like I was like scanning their stuff, and I kind of always look at the woman when they're
Okay.
doing shopping, because I just talk to them, because I
Yeah.
thought the man doesn't want to be shopping, don't speak to him, he
Okay.
doesn't even want to be there. But like I said to her, do you want a bag? She just looked at me, and I was just like, I didn't know what to do, and I kind of looked at him, and he looked at her and kind of rolled his eyes. Yes, please. I was like, I should have fucking spoken to you. You're actually way nicer. And I was just like, what is this? She seems
Did
so
she
like,
want you to recognise her, or was she just being really...
but she was like so high above. Like, I'm not gonna speak to a sales assistant. Talk to her. Like, no, that's so.
So they cast
disgusting.
her quite well,
Billie.
basically. is what
Oh
we're
yeah,
saying.
yeah, that's
Billie.
it.
Don't be fooled by the looks that she got. She's still Jenny from the block. She used to have a little, but now she has a lot.
J-Lo's my inspiration in life.
Jenny from the block.
What the fuck am I letting down flat? Both of these are worse to each other. But yeah, like there's been so many moments where like, yeah, you don't meet your heroes, kind of. And I'm just like, yeah, they're kind of.
She's one of your heroes.
No, but like you know that expression, like don't
Yeah,
meet your
yeah.
heroes.
We
and-
had a beef with somebody else in that show, the girl...
Tell me on.
Michelle, who I don't know, I have no connection with, but one of my best friends started dating her ex,
Oh shit.
and there was like a big... I'm going to tell her not to watch this because she'll kill me for talking about this. But I was just like, there just started to be a beef there, and I was just like, am I beefing with the Derry Girls? And I'm just like, these people don't know who I am, and I don't know who they
Yeah.
are. But Gallagher was in that. She came to the last episode, and I love her.
Okay.
And I keep talking about Bruna Gallagher because I'm obsessed with her.
Brona Gallagher. I need to like. I
You
keep
don't
get.
know Bruna?
I kind of like. I'm getting Brona Diamond and Brona Gallagher like mixed up in my
Do you know the
head.
Commitments?
Commitments.
She was in Pulp Fiction as well.
Oh my god! I know exactly
Yeah.
who you're talking about now. Exactly. When you
Because
said
Northern
that.
Ireland, everyone talks about Liam Neeson, and I'm just like, she was in Pulp Fiction. I'm sorry, but
No,
she's
that
like,
is like
here.
no. Pulp
Yeah.
Fiction is like the top tier
yeah.
film. Do you have any
Go.
questions for us?
Yes, so just because I'm here on a Friday night, I was like going through town on the bus. It's
Cool.
very empty. Is there not even... Okay, no, sorry, we're going to bring it more specific. I'm not going to say, is there a scene? Is there a gay scene here? How do gay people here meet each other? What's the
Do you want to
vibe?
answer that?
I was just going to say Devonish.
Yeah, but like we'd say the Devonish. We'd always go to the Devonish
Yeah.
bar. But you've had like one or two like hiccups there, where like some guys were just
Yeah.
cunts.
Like, you'd still have your, like, straight
Right, okay.
men kind of being pricks, kind of. But it's only when they're in, like, a group of straight
Yeah.
men.
So there's not even like a queer night here. Like in Belfast, there would be a drag show every
No.
night of the week.
not
We'd
here.
love to work with Fermanagh Pride to
Yeah.
like organize something.
I did like those girls. That's the first time I've seen those girls on the podcast. and I
Those
was just like,
girls
I
were
love them.
funny as fuck,
And they
they're
also
so...
really bounce off each other, right? It's very
Yeah,
different personalities.
That's
but
it.
worked
And
out
you
well.
know what? They're so protective. It's like,
Yeah.
see, because I only met them that once at the wee interview, and then we were at Pride the week after. I can't remember, but I was there with Leah Parton, and I've like a few issues with the X,
Okay.
and I remember I was like working away like with the camera and stuff, and I turned around and my ex was right there and laughing at me, and I was like, oh fuck, I didn't even think I need to talk to anyone. I was just like, get myself out of that situation.
Yeah.
I thought you shouldn't think like that. If anyone catches themselves like that in those moments, like, you're not the problem. But in that moment, I
Hit
thought
them, physical violence, it
that's
works.
it. Well, yeah, I thought I was the problem. I need to get myself out of that situation. But then Leah Parton, little Leah, went straight to the girls, and they're like fucking bullets. They came running over, being like, where is he, where is he? And then I think they all like, he kind of knew what was going on, that the whole community was like looking for him, and then he left, and I was like, these are my new family. Like, I feel so protected by these girls, like, they're so good. But yeah, we'd love to like work with them and do something. I was even thinking like, I don't know, like maybe even rent a boat. Like, there's big yachts here. I want to take more advantage of the loch here, and like if we did like a party boat, like a queer party boat, or even like organize a bus to Snarla, you know, go to a beach day, something like, you know, it doesn't have to be like a bar. Like some people want to do alcohol free stuff, and like even there's a, what do you call it, Zodiac, it's like a pool place, like we could do like a competition, you know, a big
like
thing.
Snooker,
yeah.
Well, that's the Sapphics, that's the idea
Oh,
of Belfast, like
fuck
pool
off,
nights and
that's
snooker nights,
class. Yeah, I mean, funny enough, the pool place I'm thinking of, tables are huge. Like, I'd need like a wee step ladder, like a couple extra arms to even reach. Like, if my ball goes in the middle, I'm fucked. But yeah, no, like we'd love to get more inclusive stuff here, because like I said, like, there's more stuff in Belfast. There's like nothing here. Like, we'd have to get to our bus to Belfast and that's like a full weekend. You wouldn't want to go up to Belfast and then back down. You'd have to like organise, which would be good crack, but again, there's nothing close by.
Just finding that was our thing, like when we were reaching out to Galway, because there's a GA club, Belfast, Dublin and Cork, we were like, we want one in Galway. So
I love Galway.
yeah, I reached out to Galway. Have, right, I'm going to butcher this, Teach Solace. There's like an LGBT group out there called something like that. Do either of you speak Irish?
We are about to learn. We went to register, but they stop now, and then lessons reopen in January. So that'll be our New Year's resolution. We're going to get better. We'll do better.
Well, no, I haven't spoken in years. So this is Teach, basically TEACH, and then the second word is Solace, and that's, I equivalent to their Rainbow Project. It's just the LGBT organisation for Galway, and they do a little bit, like they have football stuff out there, and then things like that. So when we reached out about starting a GA club, they were like, you might be better with, it was Galway GA said this, might be better with rounders, just because it's a more open age demographic. You can get a lot younger, a lot older involved, and it's just so difficult to find LGBT people connected when you go into smaller towns like Galway, which to me isn't actually it's a city to me.
Yeah,
but
no,
it's like,
it is pretty big.
There's still no big LGBT community there, and then it's just finding people, because what you're saying about going to a shop and put a poster up, and you might get 3 or 4 gay people use that shop, and there you've got 3 or 4 gay people.
Yeah.
But to do any sports, you need like 20. So it's finding a community together is just so difficult in small towns.
Finding your audience is so hard. Yeah, definitely. But no, there really needs to be a better move on. Like, you're almost afraid of it starting, because like, I've, again, with the wee posters that I put up, you're fucking ripped down in 2 seconds. Like, I remember when I was putting up posters at the bus depot on these wee telephone boxes, and there was a guy that just watched me. I was like, what the fuck is he looking at? I was getting so angry, and I moved to the other side of the street to another photo or phone box, and like, I seen that he walked all the way over. I fucking got my phone out. I was like, rip it off, because you're going on my Facebook. But like, he didn't. Fair enough, he didn't. But like, you do get stares, and like, when I was handing it to people, I was kind of scared to be like, this is a new queer podcast. I just went, oh, new local podcast. I'm hoping once you see the rainbow flag, you kind of understand what it is. But half the time we're like, that's grand, put them up. But then after, like, I haven't really checked on them. I really should have checked on them today to see if they're still up, but like, they do get ripped down very easily. And then like, I knew rightly, I really want because I went to Southwest College, and I know rightly, because like, the younger generation get it, and they need that reach. They need those people to speak to. They, like, I said to the girls, we can be like the queer older sisters and brother. So like, to get my reach, those are my audience. So I scattered my posters. Well, like, I wasn't allowed to, because I'm not a student there anymore, but I passed them to my former teachers. I was like, please put them up everywhere and anywhere. And like I'm just hoping that will, like, you know, because if you walk into the college, you'll see there's people from all sides of the spectrum, and that is like my people. But I have hope that they won't get ripped down or vandalized in the college. But I have a feeling the town won't last at all.
Do they even have like an LGBT group for the college, or?
I'm not too sure, because like I haven't been there like a year or two now, quite a while. But I'd like to think so. Like the college are really good for because I did counselling at the college. So they do have a lot of like programs, and the support services are so good.
It's a nice building to look at as well.
Yeah.
It's a nice building.
Yeah.
I passed that on the way down. Isn't it?
Yeah,
The only flaw,
It's very new.
yeah,
It's
the
very
only
fresh.
flaw I have with that building is that it's all windows and your signal can bounce out. But like, so like when you're on your phone, especially when I did a lot of computer work, like I'm sending stuff from my phone to my computer, and you just couldn't do that,
Right, okay.
and you couldn't like connect to their Wi-Fi, and like things could have
Because it's
changed.
Windows?
It's because like it's like the signal bounces out of the windows.
Okay.
Like, because like anytime you got out your phone, you know how it says like 4G.
Yes.
But it would always be like not SOS, but nothing would show up, or you'd have like one
Like
bar.
E, what was it, letter E? Yeah.
Probably E
Yeah.
actually. And yeah, we had asked like, why isn't the signal, my 4G never works in here? They're like, yeah, it's just because it's all windows, your signal's being bounced out the windows. Isn't that crazy how that works?
Yeah,
Or-
that's
mental,
interesting because
isn't
my
it?
office, we don't have any signal, and we do have an entire wall of just windows. And just like, so if I go into like the wee kitchen area that has more walls, is that going to help?
Probably.
I'm going to test this.
Honestly, test it, because like that is what we've
Or
always
it
been
could be
told.
the fact that the tech is built on a hospital site, so it's probably a load of souls trapped in
Oh.
there,
Yeah, and
catching your signal.
yeah,
My work is a hospital site as well. Interesting.
Jesus Christ, yeah, things lined up.
Catching your
Yeah,
signal.
no,
I'm not letting that bitch send her email.
yeah, fuck your coursework. It's the workhouse too up there too.
Yeah.
It's like ghosts,
Yeah,
ghosts
standing
up
on
there.
the family dead.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be a good wee LGBT trip, an LGBT ghost hunt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Do you ever
do
hear of the Cooning Ghost House? It's
Coney.
Cooning or Cooning. There's like two ways of like
Yeah,
saying
is it
it.
here?
He pronounces it proper. I just say Cunyon.
Yeah, people say Cooning,
Yeah.
but like I've heard people say Cooning, so
Yeah.
I really I don't want to offend people, but like it's out by. Is it Oh,
It's just past Brickbur. It's before 5 miles.
it's
down in
not that. It's like a 20-minute drive
Yeah.
from Enniskillen. It's not
Okay.
that far, but it's like me and my brother did a wee video there because like I didn't know that I was gonna get myself into podcasting. I just knew that as soon as I left college, I want to like make stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought me and my brother, it would be good crack if we went to the. It's like advertised, or it's like the stories that are told that it's like the most haunted house in Ireland, and it's the only house. I don't know if it's the only house in Ireland or the only house in the world to have a house exorcism. So like it wasn't a person getting exorcised; it was the whole house.
Okay.
So me and him,
Oh, I just spotted the Exorcist poster.
oh shit, yeah, oh big movie buff.
Yeah.
But me and my brother wanted to camp inside the house, but like there was like so much debris, you couldn't get a tent there, so we camped in the forest next, and it was just like I'm so skeptic, but see, once you hear those trees rub together and just like once you look out, it's just pitch black. We're just like, you could see like your mind play tricks on you.
No, I
and,
would not have camped in the woods.
oh
beside.
no,
Like
honestly.
even where I checked in tonight, I'm just like, this gives me haunted vibes.
I think that'd be so fucking funny if you just set a bunch of queers in a haunted house, you know, with the
Swats and
GoPros,
scream.
you know,
Yeah.
or like the 360 cameras, and you're just seeing people's heads like that. That'd be such good crack,
It
yeah.
would just get me sitting outside smoking out the front, being
You
like, I'm not
just-
going in.
You have cigarettes in each fingers, you're stressed, you're like, I can't go back in there. Fucking holy water. But yeah, no, like you said, no, there definitely needs to be more like inclusion in the town. It's just lacking so much.
Well, the best way to do it is kind of like a big
Just start
swing,
it.
because you get like, this is what we did. We kind of, with the GAA, the GAA said no.
Mm-hmm.
They said they'd no interest in an LGBTQIA club, and it just doesn't fit in because they're parish connected. So we just did it, and then the media picked it
Yeah.
up, and then people started to like it, and then the GAA were just like, well, if everyone's and that's, I guess, kind of what the speech was about in Dublin. The speech in Dublin I took as a really, oh, he's really passionate about this and interest, but it is actually just the community are telling the GAA listen, catch up and get involved,
Yeah,
because
that's
you
it.
don't have a choice here. And then you look at like, what was the Pride, Ballymena Pride with the slurry?
Oh yeah. That
Oh
was
my
this year,
God,
wasn't it?
that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
fucking
So that was their first,
disgusting.
and then they did the slurry. But the entire town came out and got together, and
Mm.
again, it was a big swing. You're going to get hate no matter what you do. Like, I get hate messages constantly.
Yeah, yeah.
And I love them.
Yeah, you thrive off them, yeah.
But you're always going to get hate. But once you do that big swing, then you see people come out of the woodwork and get more supportive and get more involved.
That's it, yeah, because like out of all the negative comments we get, we do like, I suppose like every one negative comment we get, we'd get like maybe 2 or 3 good comments.
Yeah, yeah.
Like for the past like week or so, I've just been so down. I'm like, no one wants this. Why am I making this? No one's like dying for this. I'm not getting the views. Maybe I'm just doing this for no reason.
Yeah, yeah.
But then I got a message from a girl from Belfast, and she was just like, "Oh, I'm so happy that you're doing this, and like you don't understand how like no one, like I haven't been able to watch stuff like this.
Yeah.
Like you're such a trailblazer and all this and that." And I'm just like, "Oh, that was such a pick me up," you know?
That is how it works. It was the same with the GAA.
Yeah.
When I started the GAA, I was in the scene. I did a bit of drag in some of the clubs and stuff.
Cool.
And so I knew quite a lot of the people in the
Can I ask what's your
scene.
drag name?
The new variant. So I started during COVID, so it was the new
Sick.
variant of COVID. And also Danu is Mother of Ireland, so I just wanted to have the Irish.
That's so
Ireland
fucking sick,
name.
actually.
And then COVID disappeared, and I was just like, well, she's dead.
Shit.
now, So she's cured.
Oh, that's so funny.
But yeah, so because I knew the community, when I was like, I'm going to start a gay GA club, I stand by this, and you will not get a lot of people who will say that I'm telling the truth now.
Yeah.
But the entire community turned around and be like, nobody wants that. No one cares. No one wants a gay GA club.
Yeah.
No one's interested. Why would we support the GA when the GA doesn't support the gays?
Yeah.
And then we had 30 people show up to the first session, and those 30 people, I think I knew 3 or 4 of them, and the others I'd never met in my life. They were just waiting. They weren't going to the gay bars. They weren't in the community.
Yeah.
They were waiting for something that just spoke to them. I've just been like,
No way.
I'm interested in GAA. And then
Yeah.
they found out other gay people are interested, and they're just like, okay, we'll come to this. And now if you go down on a Saturday to the Maverick, it'll basically be the rugby boys, the GAA club, the runners.
Class.
It's all
That's
the
so
sports teams just taking
cool.
over.
That's
yeah.
class. No, that's I even seen. I think you put it on your story too. It was like the
I'm
we-
terrified when people mention
No,
my
no.
stories.
no, I haven't seen anything bad. But it was like the Welsh rugby team. It was like a bunch of drags.
Today?
Yeah,
Yes.
I just seen it today, and like I forget their name. I feel like a dick, but they look fucking classy,
Yeah.
all dolled up. I was kind of expecting them to be wearing like stilettos when they're running, but I was like, I couldn't even do that.
There is an actual sport as part of the. So you have the Euro Games and the Gay Games. The Gay
Yeah.
Games is like the Gay Olympics for the world. It started in San Francisco, and then they have the Euro Games over here. And they have a sport that I can't remember what this is, but it's football.
Okay.
But they vogue.
Go
so they're
away.
playing football, but you're not allowed to run in the pitch or anything.
Go
You have to
away.
vogue
That's
to
so
kick the ball.
fucking
So they're all
sick.
just dancing around the football pitch. I'm just like, I don't get the rules, but this is the most. It's a spectacle, and
Yeah.
everyone comes down to watch it. I think it's like the biggest event they have over
That's
the games.
class. Yeah, no, that's unreal. Fucking hell.
That's why sports are great. They're written for straight white men,
Yeah.
but there's no set rules. Their sports are all made up. So I'm just like, you can adapt sports. You can make them more fun, and you can make them more personable to something you're interested
Yeah.
in. If you see a sport and you don't like it, throw something into it and make it just a bit more attractive.
Yeah, no, it's been such a slow burn. It's always been like a man's sport, slowly getting into women's. Did you ever hear the first ever woman to make a try in rugby was in Enniskillen?
Yeah, she was from Enniskillen.
Yeah, well, it was a
There we go,
Patora.
celebrity.
I'm sure it was Patora. Yeah.
That's where I'm staying, I believe.
Yeah. Are you gonna do the wee walk up Patora to see the castle?
Maybe, but also, so my house, this is disgusting to say, this week I got a mouse.
Oh
So
yeah,
I haven't
no.
slept in like 4 nights, and I've been killing them. It's dead now. I think that's them all gone, but I've left like traps, which is I'm so glad to leave the house and just leave all the traps up. Like this is like, so go into this bed where I know there's no mouse. I'm getting into that bed and just
Yeah.
like I may not wake up tomorrow.
Fair
So
enough, yeah.
If I get up, hopefully I'll
Yeah,
do a wee
yeah.
walk,
No,
but
no.
I plan to enjoy that sleep as well.
It's like a 5-minute walk, and it's cool because it's like the Patora Castle, and you get to read because it's like kind of just ruins now.
Yeah, yeah.
But you get to read like it was like blown up by students and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they're experimenting with dynamite or something. Like it is pretty cool.
Is it
And
just across the water there?
literally, if you cross the street wherever your B&B is, as if you're walking to the school, instead of going up left up that big hill to the school, there's like a wee walkway, and you're exactly walking past the Patora Boat Club.
Yes,
And
I
you
think
keep
I
walking a
passed.
wee it's like a wee dog walking trail.
yeah.
Yeah. And I used to bring Murphy there all the time. Yeah. It's
You-
lovely.
You might see Oscar Wilde as well.
Okay.
He went to school there.
A
Yeah.
statue? Or
No,
the Oscar
no,
Wilde?
he's talking bullshit. Is there any events after next Friday that you want to tell people about, or anything
Not at
about
the
your
moment.
life?
I've kind of stepped away from the event,
Yeah.
so this is just setting up the board essentially for the organisation. So I'm meeting again with them on Monday to get that set up. I've worked in community organisations to acquire the sports teams,
Yeah.
so I know a lot. Setting up the business from the original and doing the governance kind of side, I know nothing about. So this guy is just kind of like my guide for all this, which is why there's no events at the moment. If you check out Sporting Pride, they're probably the best to go to, the Sporting Pride page. And then my friend Lauren is running a trans self-defense class.
Oh, no way.
I don't know the
That's sick.
details, but I know that if you go through Sporting Pride, they're going to promote it and they're going to advertise that stuff, so you'll be able to get the details through that. But yeah, so Sporting Pride for
Yeah,
sports,
and
and then just any of the clubs.
Yeah, and like, for your for the fair game, for people to get involved, they message you through Instagram or
Me or Fair Game has its own Instagram
Okay,
as well, so they
sick.
can go for that one too.
no problem. Yeah, well,
Your book, have you got a name for your book yet?
yeah.
Yes, but I'm not going to say.
Oh, no hints. No, fair enough.
Has to
Fair
be a
enough.
surprise.
He wants a feature on it. That's why.
It was Hitler's bad at sports.
Yeah, because he had one bollock.
bollock.
But anyways, thank you so much for coming all the
Thank
way
you.
down. Yeah, I'm hoping like it was worth the journey.
Well, I do want to explore, and it's
Yeah,
so
no,
it'd be nice to go
definitely to go check out. If you just walk through the town, you'll see the
Yeah.
murals and stuff,
See the
and
castle.
the castle. Yeah, I do love the castle.
You'll see the form, even though the form's tossed. But anyway.
Yeah, that's a shame. Trying to think of anything else for you to do. Like
Have
most
you
of
stopped anywhere for food yet or anything?
No, I wanted to go to that fireplace that I
Very
love,
nice.
but I
Good.
literally got off the bus and then went up there, and then that wee lovely man who is adorable was bleeding radiators, and his wee wife seemed so confused. I'm staying with the
Aw.
cutest wee couple. They may be serial killers. I haven't identified this yet, and I think I'm the only one there because they were like, "You're room 1," and I looked around and there was no one else there, and I'm just like,
there's only
okay.
one room. You're room 1. That's only one room.
There was 4 up there, but I didn't think anyone's
Oh,
in any of
okay.
the other rooms.
Fair
so it's
enough.
like, okay, we'll see how this goes. So
Yeah.
could be dead tomorrow. This would be a great episode of just like
Yeah, I'll have to be giving it to police. I couldn't post this. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
on the pod. Yeah, I don't know if you have anything else you want to share with the people.
nothing right
Nothing
now
important.
I can think of.
No worries.
Check out my Instagram because I post
Yeah, I'll
bizarre drama and gossip and bitchiness. Oh,
Murphy, son, Murphy's. This is the word. I'm stuck. Yes,
there we go.
there we go. Everyone's calmed down. But yeah, I'll put all your socials and all your
Perfect.
stuff and fair game. I'll put all that up so people can communicate with you if they want to join.
Perfect.
But anyway, anything you want to say, Ref? You're so confused, Murphy. You stole my fucking thunder, right? You're never a guest on the show again. You're never a guest. Sorry. Right. Thank you. Subscribe to Little Town Big Queeries. Bye bye.